Greetings and welcome to the channel. As you can see, we're finishing up a nice green day across all of the exchanges. So that's really nice to see, although has been on such a tear these last several months. It does make one wonder how much longer this can last. I received an email a week and a half ago or so asking what other types of investments or funds and things I might be invested in. And I've noted on a couple of the previous videos that I would go through and maybe just review a few of those. Because not everything is high yield, covered call option funds. So I just thought I'd review just really quickly a few things, other things that I'm invested in. This, of course, is not an endorsement or a recommendation or anything for any of these. These just happen to be stocks that I personally invested in. I wouldn't even argue, at least on a couple of these, that they are the best selection in their particular market space. So we'll start with Easterly Government Properties. The ticker is DEA. This is a real estate investment trust that exclusively holds properties that are leased to units of government. One thing I like about this is I think if we know anything about the world is that government very rarely retreats and scales down, and so and at least especially at the federal level, they have the ability to print whatever money, unfortunately, to pay their bills. If we zoom down and we take a look, we see that Easterly Government Properties is currently paying $1.06 a year in distributions. That's a 7.75% yield. Next, we'll take a look at Essential Properties Realty Trust. This is a single tenant real estate investment trust. So their properties, which there's over 2,000 of them, are things like standalone restaurants, car washes, medical facilities, retail outlets. Now, because of that, they do have some exposure to, let's say, chains that might be distressed, or downturns in the economy from a retail or a dining perspective and things like that. However, this is probably my best performer in the last year. As you can see, the 1 year gain is 51.5%. And it's been doing that while certainly not a remarkable yield, but 3.36%. So this number was actually higher when I first started buying into this. It was probably closer to the up in the fives. My cost per share on this is significantly less than where it's at now. So I have enjoyed the appreciation in it and will likely continue to acquire shares over time. So now we'll take a look at what is probably currently my worst holding in the portfolio. In fact, I halved my number of shares in this literally just a couple of days before it was downgraded by Jefferies Financial on September 12th, citing some operating efficiency concerns and the aging fleet of the tankers. Nordic American Tankers has, I think it's 20, might be 22, I think it's 20 Suezmax oil tankers. As we can see, taking a look, we've got a downward trend here on the graph. I ended up with hundreds of shares more of this than I really probably should have had. After probably my third round of naked puts got assigned at $4. So, which is fine if I calculate in the option premiums and the 13% yield, basically 12 cents per share every quarter is what I've been getting. Ended up okay, but ended up a little overexposed on this one, and fortunately got out. Well, I say fortunately, despite the downgrade on the 12th, the stock has actually rallied up about 20 cents, give or take a penny or two, since then, just this month. In fact, if we take a look here, we're down, let's see, it was trading here in the 350, 360, 365 range, and now we're at almost 375 today. It was trading at 375 or more a little bit earlier. So this is another thing that was in my portfolio. I think there are better options if you want to be exposed to this industry. But this is what I had, and like I said, I've reduced my holdings in this, but we'll probably hang on to what I've got for the time being. Next, we'll look at Blue Owl Capital Corporation, OBDC. This is another holding that I have, and I've continued to acquire shares in, even though the price has run up a little bit. If we look at the, not as much as EPRT, but if we take a look at the 1 year, we're up about 8%. It has a forward dividend and yield of $1.48, which is almost 10%, 9.9%. Blue Owl Capital is a specialty finance and BDC organization. Over 13 billion in assets, over 200 companies they're invested in, and they have a large percentage of their portfolio, a very high percentage, like 97% are floating rate investments. So I was going to stop there for purposes of this video, but I'll go ahead and throw up Verizon Communications because I've mentioned it a couple of times in previous videos. If we look at this one, the 1 year price appreciation is over 34%. And that's all the while paying a what I think is a really good dividend for a large cap organization like this, 6%. So again, just trying to shift focus a little bit to more traditional, foundational, dividend-paying investments for dividend investors. And in some cases, you can see we're actually getting some growth out of some of these as well. Just wanted to cover a handful of other holdings since somebody had asked, and I'd promised in a couple of previous videos to do so. As always, do your own research, of course. Not all investments are appropriate for every portfolio. Everybody has different strategies, different goals, different approaches to things. Hopefully somebody found something useful out of this. And if so, it's always awesome if someone will hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. And as always, I hope everyone has had or is having a tremendous day and week. Take care.